This show is brought to you by HostBaby.com, web hosting for musicians.
Here on episode 39 of Music Marketing Monday, we address another listener question. This one is all about how to balance a hectic schedule. How do you get everything done and stay healthy while doing it? I know this one's got your ears perked up, so stay tuned. Here we go. Saddle up. Woo!
Information, inspiration, motivation for the modern musicpreneur.
Time to start your week right.
Here it comes, Music Marketing Monday, with your host, Bob Baker,
Mr. Buzz Factor,
and Billy Gryzak.
The Music Marketing Mind.
Ready? Are you sure?
Set.
Here it comes. Swing, baby.
All right, let's see. I got ibuprofen. I've got airborne. I've got vitamin C, echinacea. Hey, everybody. How you doing? I forgot we were doing a podcast today. This is Billy Gryzak, the Music Marketing Mind, and over there by the medicine cabinet,
it's Bob Baker, Mr. Buzz Factor. You know, usually you start off your segments with such a bang, and we refer to this as audio caffeine, and I swear there, it sounded more like audio Valium.
Oh, yeah, let me get that out, too. Yeah, well, you know, it's this, talk about ironic. You know, if you look in the dictionary under the word ironic, you'll see a picture of me trying to record a podcast about staying healthy when I'm feeling like total crap.
So this is a perfect question to come up this week.
It is, you know, actually, because I mean, I'm trying to decide. I'm not joking. I'm trying to decide right now whether my son and I should go to our gig tonight, because last night he got really sick and had a fever and a stomach ache, and I woke up this morning with the same symptoms that obviously my loving son shared with me because he's awesome, and we're both like, should we go to the show tonight? You know, and of course we're going to go to the show. Don't be ridiculous, but yeah, I mean, you can't call in sick, Bob.
You can't, and especially, so and you can't do that when you have an active schedule. And I know your philosophy is the show must go on, but so I guess the thing is, how do you deal with it when you are sick? But most importantly, which I think our voicemail comment and question this week was more about how do you ward off, maybe do some preventative medicine, you know, in addition to juggling a hectic schedule with a music career.
Well, I'm not sure I totally understand the question, so why don't we turn it over to Rowen right now?
That's right. And I'm going to make it on the other end of it. I have a confession to make.
Oh my. Well, me too. I do this podcast in my underwear in the closet.
No. That's not the confession. It's a different one. Let's listen to it.
Hi there, Billy and Bob. How are you doing, guys? I thought I'd contribute this week and ask you a question. Right now in the UK, it's pretty cold and miserable, and I wanted to know if you have any rituals, any diet tips, any little things that you do to cope with all of the things that you're trying to do at once. I imagine, like me, both of you are doing lots of different projects, trying to keep focused on different goals that you're kind of ticking over with. And if you're playing live in and amongst that, and that happens at short notice, how do you cope with that sort of erratic schedule that kind of changes all the time? How do you manage to keep your energy levels up in amongst all of that? How do you prevent yourself from getting ill and that sort of thing in amongst all of that? I mean, there are a lot of colds going around here, for example. I'd love to know your tips about those sorts of things. Thanks a lot, and have a good week. Bye.
Thank you so much, Rowen. She's a regular listener. She's often active on our Music Marketing Monday chats on Twitter. And I love the question, but before I answer it, there's a confession I must make. Are you ready for this, Billy?
It's about your underwear, isn't it?
No, it's not about my underwear. But I will say I got this thing about accents. And in particular, again, I'm just kind of sort of being honest here. Particularly the way that women with British accents, also Australian accents, say my name. Because Bob, in the American normal saying of it, Bob Baker. I mean, I couldn't have the most blandest common name, but for some reason, when a woman with an accent says Bob or Bob Baker,
Oh my!
I just melt, and so I played that over and over again. Thank you, Rowan, for making my day.
Yeah, thank you, Bob, for sending back this podcast about 7,000 listeners. That's really great, man.
No.
Don't worry, man. I sent us back 10,000 with my underwear comments. So
Yeah. I told you. Yeah. So, but this is a great question, and Rowan has been involved in. We know her, so I feel comfortable saying that about her. She's taken one of my classes, or those 4-week master classes that you've always been involved in, and so I really appreciate her. She's a hard-working indie artist in the UK, and she has some great questions. So, where do you want to start with this, Mr. Gryzak?
Well, I guess that's a great question because, I've always used mind over matter and just forge ahead, and my schedule's ridiculous. And so I think we're going to start off with maybe talking about the schedule and preventative, and then I'll tell you some of my thoughts about how to deal with not feeling great. So why don't you kick it off?
Yeah, so basically, I see there are two issues that she brought up, and there was a theme there about how to stay healthy and self-nurture, take care of yourself when you have this hectic schedule and you're juggling so many things as an indie artist. But there's also the thing about priorities. How do you schedule yourself? How do you handle all of this stuff? So there are two things that are definitely related and overlapping. Let's just go ahead and I guess do the health thing, and I'm going to make a disclaimer with the advice that I'm about to give. This is the situation that I strive for, but many of these things are easier said than done. And I go in and out of phases, and, having a set routine or making them part of my daily ritual. I mean, that's probably what you want to get to is get these things to where they're rituals on both the health and the planning, side of things. But I get off track. I fall off the wagon quite often. And there's one thing I think that you and I share, Billy, is active schedules. We juggle a lot of different stuff. We're performers, we're teachers, and Rowan and a lot of independent artists are doing this, the same thing, juggling a lot of things. So here's some ways to keep yourself healthy, and I strive to do this. But one is you got to even you got to really get plenty of rest. Make sure that you're not going night after night without sleeping. That's your body's way of rejuvenating, and so if sometimes you got to be up late playing a gig, and maybe you get a day job or something, and you just can't help it on some nights. But if you go too long doing that, your body's defense systems go down. So get plenty of sleep.
And this is an area that I'm totally guilty of. The first thing I do when I look at my schedule, and I say, well, I just need an extra hour, 2 hours, whatever. And I go, where can I take this time from? And I usually go, oh, well, look, here's about 6, 8, 9 hours. I'm not doing anything. I'll just take it out of there,
Right.
And that's not a good idea.
Right. I mean, and when you're self-employed and you don't have the day job, you do have the luxury of napping during the day. So if you had to stay up late or had to get up early, and you have the opportunity to get even 30 minutes, there's lots of research that shows that does wonders for your health and well-being. But I think I started to mention drink plenty of water, in particular in the morning. I get up and I drink 2 full glasses. I actually squeeze, get a slice of lemon or 2 and put it in the water, and it actually creates more of an alkaline base. I know I sound like I'm getting to be a health geek here.
We are not doctors.
I know. Yes,
we just play doctors on a podcast.
But your body has a combination of alkaline and acidic content in it, and I think the more acidic it is, the more prone to inflammation and disease and all that good stuff is. You need some acidic content to your body, but it needs to be balanced. And so a lemon apparently actually does a good job of countering the acidity, even though it seems like it's an acid-based fruit, but it's really not, or it has the opposite effect. So get plenty of water, especially in the morning, throughout the day. Make sure you're drinking plenty. Nutrition. I mean, a lot of this stuff is duh, we know what to do, but it's just do we really do it? Do your best to plan ahead and go to the grocery store and eat as much live food as possible, as opposed to stuff out of a bag or a box or a window.
A window, I like that. And don't forget, eat lots of pizza. Yes, it's important.
Exactly. And so, like I said, I'm not saying that we both do not claim to be health experts or live this, 24/7 or 365. But these are things that I strive to do. Also, walk and stretch as much as you possibly can. I know this because I sit my butt in a chair way too many hours every day because I'm on so much of what I do is either writing or surfing or researching or creating some kind of content where I need to sit. And so I had to force myself to get up and to walk. If it's nice outside, take a walk around the neighborhood, go to a nearby park. But if nothing else, just walk around your house like while you listen to this podcast. Here you go.
The podcasts are great for that.
Yeah, and they're around 30 minutes, and so that's actually a nice little walk. Again, whether it's indoors, outdoors, on a treadmill, whatever. So here's your way. It's one way to get your weekly dose.
4 out of 5 doctors recommend Music Marketing Monday as the best podcast to listen to get exercise because we inspire you, man. That's right.
That's right. And so, so that's kind of like my little rundown on the health stuff. Again, there's a lot more to it and what you eat, and you can get into more, extreme forms of exercise. But those, I think, if you just cover those basics, get plenty of sleep, drink plenty of water and liquids, eat more that's high percentage of your daily intake of live foods, meaning fruits, vegetables, things. The most direct route from the ground to your mouth, the better off. What's that?
Worms.
Worms. Those are live foods.
Pure protein, man.
Exactly.
Okay, so I know I just totally tripped you up there, Bob, because you're making a really good point. It is difficult, though, depending upon what type of lifestyle you have. Like when you're on the road traveling, I think it's difficult to get some of those things, but they're all alternatives, and there are different kinds of supplements and things that you can do. But I find the biggest thing that really messes you up is stress. Honestly, that will do more damage to you psychologically, productively, and physically than a pizza will, in my opinion. And I'm only saying that because I do eat a lot of pizza and I'm still going and I have a really busy schedule and everything. Now, I don't recommend that diet. If you see me, you might not want to look like me. But the point is that, I do keep going because I try to keep my life, as stress-free as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And one thing I didn't mention that it's actually, I try to make this part of my daily routine. I often miss, but I'll meditate in the morning. It's kind of a ritual. I'll get up, drink the water, sit down, maybe do a little, writing in a notebook and a journal. I don't, ideally don't check email and jump into your daily, give yourself that little bit of a kind of self-nurturing time first thing out of bed. And I'll, for about 20 minutes, when I do it, I meditate using there's a couple of tracks that I've enjoy meditating to, and since I've been listening to them for years, they almost have that like Pavlov's dog, type of thing where I hear them, my body goes into that relaxed state. I just try to clear my mind and just relax before I start my day.
Right. So basically, what you got to do is you really need to do what you need to do. Now that sounds a little crazy, but if you search yourself, you can find the things that alleviate the stress, center you, and make it easier for you to do what you do. And it might be crazy things like maybe it's playing solitaire. It sounds crazy, but maybe it's working in the garden. For me, I do this is crazy. One's going to be like a little TMI, but I like to take showers, and I also like to go into the pool. I guess I'm very water based when it comes to freeing my mind and thinking and getting inspiration and preparing myself for the day. We have a pool where I live here and year round, and so like I'll go into the pool and I'll sit in the hot tub and I get to just think and be with my thoughts. And as I get ideas, I usually bring like something to write with, and I just get it out of me. This is an important one, guys. It's important to get the things out of your head and down onto paper, because you can't think clearly when your head is all jumbled up with all this crap you're trying to remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like trying to cultivate flowers in a weed-filled garden. You see what I'm saying? So you need to get the weeds out so you can get to the flowers, okay? Now, I was having a talk with Carrie Cole. You know Carrie Cole, right, Bob?
I sure do, yes.
Yeah, she's an awesome vocal coach and marketer from New York. And we were having a conversation one day about how is it that some singers manage to be able to sing no matter what and other singers don't? And she goes, sometimes it's just the way your body is designed. There's some people, whether it's healthy or not, they smoke and they drink and they go out and they're, you know what I mean? And they're just like,